Well. Chelsea FC get their first win in a very long time in the Premier League. And it's a beautiful way for the Rosenior era in the Premier League to begin. Now, of course, I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot. And I'm not going to be getting ahead of myself. As I said with the Charlton Athletic result, and as well as I said in the Arsenal game, I am aware of the fact that we could have conceded, we could have lost this match on numerous occasions, but that is could have, should have, would have, and hypotheticals. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't like hypotheticals. So I'm not going to speak about the hypotheticals. I'm going to speak about the reality. And the reality is Chelsea FC, Rosenior's Chelsea, were able to get the better of Brentford. Yes, we can say that there were some instances, and of course, we're aware of the fact that Robert Sanchez saved Chelsea on numerous occasions. We know that Cucurella would have been outnumbered, and of course, that is a big reason why, we ended up seeing, Rosenior bringing on Andres Santos, taking off Garnacho so that we could have more balance in that midfield. We all understand that, but we're going to discuss all of this and more. I just want to take this time to just get everything up that I need to get up. So just bear with me. I'll be right back in a short period from now. So just bear with me. Let me just play my intro and we'll be back for this live discussion. Drop a like on the stream. 5 people are watching already. So let's get the likes up to 5 likes. I only see 1 like. So let's see if we can get up to 5 likes and we can see what goes on. This will not be a long stream per se. It will be a stream that, just covers the basics, covers the factual part of the game. And then, we go from there as well. So thank you very so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Drop a like on the stream. All right, so thank you guys so much. So I'm very happy. This period has been today's been a very good day for me. Really good day for me, and I want to share this because this is very interesting. And it's something that I'm trying to get used to as well, which is seeing Chelsea have less of possession. And in this game, as I said, Brentford could have gotten a few goals, couple of goals. So I'm going to share this. Okay, that's not the right window. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I think I know what needs to be done here. So, okay, remove this and then put it back again. Still trying to understand these things. All right, so let me put this in a better layout so that everybody can see it better. I hope that's better. No, I think it needs some. Let me see if I can put this in full screen. All right, perfect. So you guys should be able to see this. So go back to this tab. So as you guys can see, we already know this. Chelsea won 2-0 against Brentford. Joao Pedro with a beautiful strike. That was a beautiful strike. Of course, you know that at first it was ruled as being offside. But after it went to VAR, they checked it. They realized that indeed Joao Pedro was onside due to the Brentford defender's arm being advanced. So he wasn't the last. He wasn't behind the last defender. He was indeed in front of him just slightly. It's those fine margins, of course, that can change the result and change the scoreline. And that's indeed the case. And Joao Pedro's strike was beautiful. Tremendous strike. And of course, we know, as I said, after that goal, it was very much a case where Chelsea could have conceded way more goals. 100% could have conceded more goals. And it was, as I said before, Cucurella was, of course, struggling on that left-hand side. He was outnumbered. And a lot of the times, a lot of the chances that Brentford were creating was coming from that left-hand side, their right-hand side, and then coming from right into the central area. And then, of course, in the second part of that game, second half, they were starting to challenge the left-hand side or the right-hand side for Chelsea, their left-hand side. However, James was able to handle the pressure. We saw the likes of Tosin making some beautiful block, which is what we expect from Tosin. The biggest problem with Tosin is that sometimes positioning can be bad, But in terms of blocking shots, that's one of the reasons why Chelsea got him on a free after he left Fulham. So we're aware of that. The ball playing is the biggest problem with Tosin, not the defending aspect in terms of blocking shots and all of that. So he did very good. Sadly, he had to be taken off due to what appears to be an injury. So hopefully he doesn't have a big issue. But Tosin, of course, did very good in this game. I think he did very well for the time that he played. And I'm happy. As I said, I'm really happy with the result. Happy that Chelsea were able to get the job done. And happy days. We move on to the next game. The next game is going to be in the week on Wednesday against Paphos in the Champions League. So, of course, the funny thing about this is that Rosenior's games are all coming in different competitions. So his first FA Cup match was his first match. His first EFL Cup match, which fair enough, it's the semi-finals, ended up it being a defeat. But his first Premier League match came today, and then his first Champions League match is going to be in the week. So it's a period of first for Rosenior, his first everything. So, and this is his first win in the Premier League as well. So it's a lot of firsts have happened here. And it's the first time that Chelsea have won in the Premier League for a while. So it's a lot of firsts, as I said. Lots of firsts. But anyways, let's go into the possession, the stats, starting with the possession. So as I said before, in terms of ball possession, we saw that Chelsea had 46% of the possession, which it was expected. Brentford had 54% of it. Expected goals was 1.59 for Chelsea and 1.54 for Brentford. 6 total shots for Chelsea. So this statistics is not really the greatest. We didn't have much chances at their goal, I should say. And of course, they had 15 total shots. We had two big chances according to FootMob, and I'm assuming that we took the 2 big chances that they're talking about. Brentford also had 2 big chances. So let me just quickly go over to the stats window part of this so that I can be able to do this. So, right. So, okay. So, apparently one of the big chances that Chelsea had, they missed it, which I think is probably the Garnacho missed the empty goal chance. Perhaps that's what they mean by the big chance that was missed. So, of course, I know that we've scored one of them. So, of course, they draw Pedro one beautiful chance, that beautiful strike, as I said. Accurate passes was 366 of the total passes, and that's 85% accuracy. Brentford had 430 accurate passes with 87% accuracy. 7 fouls committed from Chelsea and 10 from Brentford. 3 corners for Chelsea and 9 for Brentford. And we go down to the shots. We see that Chelsea had 6 total shots. Brentford had 15. 2 shots were off target from Chelsea. 2 were on target. And 2 were blocked by Brentford. And for the 15 shots that Brentford had in total, 5 of them were off target, 5 were on target, and 5 were blocked. So both teams had equal amounts of shots off target, shots on target, and block shots based on the total amount of shots that they had. So it's a case of threes. Hit the woodwork. Brentford hit the woodwork once. Shots inside the box was 10, which shows that was a serious and dangerous thing that Chelsea were doing. They were living vicariously, it looks like. But Chelsea had 0 hit of the woodwork. And then they had 4 shots inside the box, Chelsea. 2 of those 6 shots that they had were outside the box as well. And defending now, Brentford had 14 tackles to Chelsea 16. Brentford had 7 interceptions to Chelsea's 11. 5 block shots for Chelsea and 2 blocks, not block shots, 5 blocks for Chelsea and 2 blocks for Brentford. 42 clearances for Chelsea and 16 clearances for Brentford. 6 goalkeeper saves, and of course Kelleher did not have any saves to make, as most of her shots were either wide or blocked by the defense that he had right in front of him. Duels won, 44 duels won by Chelsea and 36 duels won by Brentford. 32 ground duels were won according to FootMob, and 57% of the ground duels won is the statistics. And then ground duels won is 24 for Brentford, with them winning 43%. Of course, the remaining would be for 100% ground duels won statistics. Now, air duels won, we see 12 air duels won here, 50% as well. And then, we see Brentford had the other 12, which gives them the 50% air duels won as well. So Successful dribbles, Chelsea had only 7, which is 41%, and Brentford had 3 with 23% successful dribbles. Now, when you look at the top stats, and I believe that this is perfect, and it reminds me so much of a positive. It's not like the Charlton game where we had a lot more players having 8 point something as their foot mob rating, but Robert Sanchez deservedly gets the man of the match with an 8.4 rating according to foot mob. Minutes played, of course, he played the 90 minutes. We can't look at any more statistics for him because that would make no sense. Enzo Fernandez, 8.4 right behind him, the birthday boy. Today is indeed his birthday, Enzo Fernandez, and he played 85 minutes coming off for the remaining 5 minutes of normal time, and then the 7 minutes, of course, was also there. That was when we saw the likes of Josh Ashengpong and Yoel Hato coming on to replace James and him. Cole Palmer got an 8.3. Of course, he scored the decisive goal, the goal that gave the game that comfort for Chelsea. And he played all 90 minutes. He got the goal, as we've said. The XG that he had was 0.82. For Enzo Fernandez, he had an 0.07 XA. And defensive contributions, he had 7. As for Cole Palmer, as I said, the XA, which is expected assist, is 0.02, and XG plus XA is 0.84, and he had 12 defensive contributions, which is very positive. I remember seeing when Cole Palmer was dropping deep and he won the ball back and he was clearing the ball and they were keeping it away. I like the way that we were defending when the game started to get to the latter parts. If the beginning part of it, I kept saying we need to score a second goal because I'm not feeling comfortable there. So I'm very happy that was the case. Then we have Tosin. As I said, Tosin had a very good game. Sadly, he didn't get to see all the 90 minutes. He played 58 minutes, however. So that is good for him. And he got 7.7 rating according to FootMob. So Janelt got 7.6. I think he did very good. He had a few risky period, but at the same time, I think he was indeed the best performing player for Brentford, and you guys can see it here based on the rating. So let me see what's going on in the chat here. Neto was rubbish. Yeah, I mean, Neto really struggled in this game for sure. Neto really struggled, and it's disappointing. But I think Neto needs some time on the bench. I would have liked to have seen Gittins, but of course we know the circumstances around Gittins. Gittins perhaps wasn't really in the best of health, so of course he didn't get to take part in this match, sadly. But yeah, I think Neto needs some time on the bench. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate the chunks. It's good to see you. Big up to you. I really appreciate the support from you. 11 people are watching. We can get to 11 likes. I'm only seeing 3 likes. We can get to 11 likes right now. So let's get up the likes. 21 people watching now. Let's get the likes up, please. I really appreciate the support today. Thank you very much for watching. Then we have Moises Caicedo with a 7.5 rating. And he played the 90 minutes, of course. We see that. Trevor Chalobah did very good, or he did awfully good. 7.5 rating for him as well. Joao Pedro, we know that he scored the opening goal in the 27 minutes, as we've said. And of course, we have him playing 74 minutes. He scored the 1 goal, as I said. Reece James, 7.4 rating for him as well. Reece James really had to do a lot of defensive work. We saw him inverting more than Kukurea, which was something that I perhaps could understand, because of course if he had inverted, I think we would have seen a lot of times where he would be overcrowded a bit more. He was overcrowded in that first half and overcrowded in that second half, and that is why I like how proactive Rosenior was. People can say he's perhaps reactive because he saw something, but he was proactive because he realized that Kukurea was being outnumbered. So, of course, we brought out Andre Santos, replaced Garnacho, who I know Garnacho would probably feel disappointed he didn't get to play more in this game and probably try to score a goal. But at the same time, a sacrifice had to be made. And, of course, Garnacho was deemed as the ideal person to sacrifice as well. So let me put this in full screen so you guys can be able to see it more. We move on to Jensen. He played 90 minutes. He had 7.2. Marco Correa 7.2 as well. As I said, he had a few times when he was struggling. According to FootMob, despite what Shang says, Pedro Neto got a 7.2, and I do agree Neto wasn't the greatest of players. He tried to run down that right-hand side a lot of the times, that he had to move to the left-hand side, and he wasn't really performing the greatest. He made some good passes here and there, claimed the ball well, controlled it well, but a lot of the times he really wasn't the brightest. Then, of course, for Brentford, we have another Brentford player here. We have Christopher with a 7.1. Damsgaard for Brentford had 7.0. And then Yamalok, 6.9. Nathan Collins, 6.7. Kevin got 6.6. Liam Delap, who only played 16 minutes, and he won the penalty as well. First, I think his first involvement was winning that penalty. I made mention of this in a group at the time, in that it reminds me of that penalty that he won against Chelsea last year when he played against Ipswich. Well, not last year, actually. It would have been 2024, last season, I should say. When Jurgensen was playing and he his foot caught Liam Delap, and Liam Delap went down, and of course the penalty was awarded. Then we have Coyote, which I think Coyote is probably hard done by. I think Coyote was very dangerous on the right-hand side, the left-hand side for Chelsea. He really was giving Kukurea a very difficult time on that right flank for Brentford, left flank for Chelsea. Wesley Fofana, who came on for the 32 minutes, of course, replacing Tosin, who sadly had to be taken off. He got a 6.5. I think he made some key blocks. He did give the ball away a few times, Wesley Fofana, but at the same time, by the end of the game, he really did do a lot in terms of blocking, especially to keep it as a clean sheet as well for Rosenior's first Premier League match. Then we have Rico Henry. He got a 6.4 as well. He played 82 minutes. Then we have Garnacho, who of course played only 57 minutes, and he got a 6.3. He didn't really have the brightest of game, but he did do a few things here and there. Of course, his rating will drop significantly, missing that opening the open goal opportunity. And you have Dango Oyatara. I probably butchered the last name, but he got a 6.0 as well. He played only 30 minutes. Thiago will be disappointed he didn't get to score against Chelsea today, but he got a 6.0 rating and he played all 90 minutes. Then we have Kelleher, who really got his rating dropped significantly, giving away that penalty, which I think is unfortunate. I think he's a very good goalkeeper, Kelleher. The old Liverpool backup goalkeeper. He decided to go to Brentford, and I think he's really done well for them. Other than this game, of course, we know that Brentford, were ahead of Chelsea, and this win was very important. It was a 6-pointer, I'd say, because Chelsea find themselves in a good spot, in good proximity to the top four, which is very good. So 100% that's the case. And then, of course, for the rest of the ratings, these players were deemed to have only had limited minutes. So, of course, no rating can be given for them as well. So that is the statistics. I'm going to take the time to look at the table so we can look at where Chelsea are currently, because I'm not sure how the table is looking right now. All right, so Chelsea are 1 point ahead of Brentford with this win. So we look at the table, we see Arsenal top of the league with 49 points. They are yet to play. They're going to be playing against Nottingham Forest. Let me see when that match is. When is that match? That match is today. It's in 11 minutes actually. Wow. So 11 minutes Arsenal will be playing. I want to see that game, but I want to do this stream a bit longer, so I guess I'll just miss the first 30 minutes of the game or thereabout. So we'll see what happens. But as I said, thank you for watching the stream. Very much appreciate the support. 12 people are watching right now. Let's get the likes up. With flat 9 likes, we can get to 12 at least. But as I said, for the table, Manchester City had a very interesting result, losing to their Manchester rivals in Manchester United 2-0. It could have been 3-0. Mason Mount's goal was ruled out for offside. And their next match will be against Wolves, which will be taking place in the near future. Then of course we have Aston Villa. Well, let's focus on the points. So Arsenal are on 49 points. If they win their game today, which some people may expect against Nottingham Forest, they have some cushion. They will have 9 points, ahead. They'll be 9 points ahead of Manchester City. However, if Aston Villa do beat Everton, they will be 6 points behind Arsenal. So Arsenal need to win this match. It's not over for them. The title has not been decided. But we can see that both City and Aston Villa are equal on points. Aston Villa can, of course, go ahead of Manchester City with a win over Everton. Liverpool are in 4th place with 36 points. They're approximately 7 points currently behind the likes of Aston Villa, they will be gutted that they dropped 2 points, and I would say that they lost that match despite the fact that it ended 1-1 with both teams getting a point apiece. But they'll be disappointed that they couldn't get the 2 additional points, so that they be 5 points behind Aston Villa and not 7. And of course, we as I mentioned, Manchester United got a very interesting win over City, bringing their points tally to 35 and keeping themselves 1 point ahead of Chelsea. Brentford, of course, and Chelsea would have faced off, and this is the match we're reviewing. 34 and 33 points. Of course, that's very important, and the goal difference looks very good for Chelsea. So if Chelsea can get a win and Manchester United drop points, then they will be comfortably ahead of them in the next Premier League outing that will take place. Brentford, as I've said, on 33 points, they have a goal tally of 5. And of course, their win streak comes to an end. Their undefeated streak also comes to an end, thanks to Chelsea defeating them today. And Sunderland are, of course, on 33 points, on 8 points, same points as Brentford. And this is what if I scroll down, you realize that the point separating 5th all the way down to 10th is only 4 points. That is crazy. It shows how intense this Premier League season has been, because there's only 4 points separating 5th and 10th, which is incredible. And of course, the point separating 6th and 10 is, of course, 3. So it's a very compact season, very intense, very close margin, and I really respect that. I like when things are very competitive, and that is why I always say that the English Premier League is the best league in the world, in Europe as well. It's because of its high intensity, its high competitiveness. You can never coach against any team. It's not like other leagues where you can expect to win most of your games. You may drop points, you may concede, you may draw with some teams, but of course, the expectation is that you win against most of the quote-unquote bottom teams or the mid-table teams. And that is what we see in a lot of those leagues, what we call a farmers league. But in the Premier League, you don't really see it as a farmers league. Of course, when City were dominating the league, you'd probably say that it was more a farmers league, because every year City were winning back-to-back. But of course, in recent years, we've seen that Liverpool have been able to put a little halt in that. And of course, if Arsenal were to win the league, that would also mean that we have a different title winners to Liverpool, who would have, of course, won the league in the 2024-2025 season. So that is very important to consider. So that is the top 10. Of course, I can go down here to see what the relegation zone is looking like. Wolverhampton Wanderers will be playing against Newcastle tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. They look as if they'll be relegated, sadly. Burnley are on 14 points. It's not impossible for them to come out of the relegation zone. Nottingham Forest, of course, need to not lose this match. If they want to really get some cushion on, being just outside of the relegation zone. But as we can see, it's not really as close as the top 10 teams. Of course, the point separating 18 and 17 is 14. The point separating 16 and 17 is 4. And of course, only 1 point is separating 15 and 16 with Bournemouth. So, yeah, I mean, Bournemouth have really faltered. And of course, Tottenham Hotspurs are in position 14. Of course, losing to who did Tottenham lose to? Tottenham lost to West Ham 2-1. So West Ham got a win today. Fair enough. That'll be good for them. They'll be ecstatic. And it looks as if Thomas Frank could be getting sacked very soon, because his results have been looking horrible. You can see the horrendous form. They've not won a game in over 4 games now. So, well, in 4 games, I should say. They won the first match of the last 5 that they had. And of course, Crystal Palace will be facing Chelsea in the next staging of the match day in the Premier League. Crystal Palace, of course, lost their match as well to Sunderland 2-1, very close margin there. And that is what makes them 1 point behind Chelsea as well. So 12 people are watching. Let's see if we can get the likes up. 5 minutes before the Arsenal game is about to kick off. But as I said, I'm really ecstatic with the way that Chelsea were able to get the win. It's a good start for for Rosenior. He'll be ecstatic. He'll be grateful that the team really fought as a unit, because I saw a type of Chelsea that we don't really see often, and that is a Chelsea that we're fighting for the manager, trying to get the win, working as a unit, working hard, and of course trying to get the best results as well. So I'm really happy with what I saw from them, and that is what you want. That's what you want to see from a team like Chelsea, a team that is really trying to keep themselves in the top four, the top five, and to try to get Champions League football, should they not be able to win the Champions League this season as well. So as I said, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. We're very close to getting to 5,000 subscribers. We're around 500 away, and thanks to a stream that I did for the women's match in the Women's FA Cup, we would have had a massive jump. We gained over 100 subscribers through that stream alone, and that stream is still growing right now. 20,000 20,000. I wish it was 20,000 subscribers. 20,000 views on that stream as well. So I'm very ecstatic with that. Very appreciative of the support on that stream, and I'm appreciative of the support on this stream as well, because we're getting to higher heights, and we're growing as a community. We're growing as a unit, and of course, this period will be good. Yeah, and this is why I like it. Thank you very much. Jesus is King. It's good to see you. And I love this shirt. This is my favorite kit. In a long time, this is my favorite kit. Let me see if I can focus on my focus on my camera. So yeah, I really like it. I have to take off your comments. No. So yeah, I really like this kit. The one from last season. Really love the kit. It really is nice. And I bought it at a time when I said, what, I have a feeling we could win a trophy this season. We end up winning 2 trophies in 2025. Of course, we won 1 trophy through the 2024-25 season. I will tend to say that the Club World Cup is more so of a off-season win, closer to reopening of the Premier League season. But I'm very happy, really ecstatic, really grateful that Chelsea were able to get a win today. And it was very nervy, as I said, and in the video that I did, analyzing the way how Rosenior sets up his team, I did define his way of playing as being brave. I do believe that you can play against certain teams that will capitalize on the chances that Brentford didn't. So of course, that's one thing I think we need to iron out. However, it will take time, because Chelsea under Rosenior isn't well rehearsed. So of course, we will see some inconsistencies. We will lose games. And as my good friend and brother, Chelsea Perspective, will say, what you can expect under Rosenior is we will lose a lot more games than we did under Maresca, because his way of playing is more brave. It's about being on the front foot, trying to be at teams, being intense. And of course, that will leave a lot of gaps in behind. So of course, that is very important to consider. So I know that some teams, I know some fans, I should say, will be very, very, very concerned about what could happen. So I know that that's something that I know a lot of people will be very, very concerned about. Will we end up, winning a lot of games under Rosenior? I think we will. I think we will win a lot more games than we did under Maresca, because we'll be going at teams. But I think we will also be losing a lot more games. And as I would have said about Maresca when he was the coach, one thing one thing I liked about Maresca's team is that, and I know some people will be shocked to hear me say that I liked something about Maresca's Chelsea. But the reality is, I always mention it. With Maresca, you are going to lose less games because you probably get more draws than losses, and the statistics showed it. When we look back at all the games that he had, we saw that we didn't lose as much games, but we did drop a lot of points, draw games, having to come from behind to get draws. So of course, that is one thing that I've always said. But under Rosenior, I know a lot of fans are going to be pissed because we're going to lose a lot of games, because his way of playing is being intense, getting at teams, playing a high line, and we saw the high line coming into full effect. And a lot of the times, the teams that we played against in Arsenal and Brentford and Charlton at a few occasions were able to, get in behind, have some chances at our goal. And if I go back to looking at this thing right here, the statistics shows that Chelsea had 6 total shots and Brentford had more shots, and their XG was 1.54. I'm not really a stats man per se, but of course, when I look at the statistics, it can help me, in terms of analyzing certain aspects of the game. So, of course, that is where the statistics comes into good use. But as I said, we can get more likes. We're on 11 likes. I think we can get to 15 more likes. Um, we're getting slowly but surely to a higher line. Which centre back are we going to sign? That's a very good question. Jesus is King. I'm hearing that we've agreed personal terms with Jeremy Jacket or Jacquet. He's French, so I don't know the pronounce that last name. I am indeed working on a video on him. I have the script ready, I have the voiceover ready for it. I just need to edit it. So you can expect to see me, release that video very soon. I have a video on Mamadou Sarr that's already edited, uploaded onto the YouTube studio. It's private. I'll be making it public through the week. Of course, because I'll be going to classes now this week. So of course I needed to make some videos so that I can put them out in the week while I have classes. So, trying to plan ahead, be proactive. So I'm gonna work on that video. If we do indeed go for him, then of course I will make that video and release it as quickly as possible. The Mamadou Sarr video is very important. Yeah, but I think my biggest thing, and I did say this on my, a fellow friend of mine's stream earlier today, the Coolest Shows podcast. Do check out his channel as well. I'm gonna share the command so Nightbot can let you go over there as well and drop a subscription onto his channel. But I went on briefly before I had my, Chelsea women's stream that blew up massively, almost 20,000 views right now. I did say that he's a very good player, but the problem that I have is that he's young. And people say that I'm being a hypocrite because I'm young. But the thing is, I don't like the fact that we're signing a whole bunch of players that are younger than me. I am young, and we're signing centre-backs that are younger than me. We need experience. We need players that can lead. And Tosin, as I said, he's a leader. He may not be the brightest player, may not be the most consistent player, but he did very good today. He's a leader. Behind the scenes, he's a leader. On the training ground, he's a leader in the dressing room as well, and that's what we need. We need leaders. I'm not saying we need to sign a 29-year-old. We can sign a 25-year-old, a 26-year-old who is well rehearsed in the Premier League or well rehearsed in terms of playing, competing, having that mentality. Because when you have young players, they're going to need someone to guide them and lead them. Yeah, and you say, so we have already agreed terms for many years. Yeah. So according to reports from Fabrizio Romano, Fabrice Hawkins, and among others, reports are that Chelsea have indeed agreed personal terms with Jeremy Jacquet. I'm probably butchering that last name or probably the first name, but so that is the case. And as you say here, yeah, I mean both of them are around the same age. The only 1 month, one is I think Jeremy is one month older than Mamadou Sarr. Mamadou Sarr was born in August. Don't find that creepy. I did a video on Mamadou Sarr yesterday, so I still have that memory of when his birthday is and all that because I spoke about his age and all of that. So he's born in August, Mamadou Sarr, and of course Jeremy's born in July. As I said, the script is ready. I did the voiceover already, so I'm able to remember who was born in which month and all that. So yeah, as you said, both of them will be very good. They're very good on the ball. Both of them are the same height as well. Both of them are 6'2", so of course that's height that we need in that defense. And a lot of our centre backs that we have these days are around 6'2" or 6'4", 6'3". Josh Achingpong is a very tall player as well. Hato is not necessarily the tallest, but he's also 6 foot something. So we do have players for the future. Alcedbino is another centre back that we of course have, the Argentinian who is currently alone at Dortmund. Of course, we are linked with the likes of Schlotterbeck, I should say. We're also linked with other centre back. I don't remember his name. He's at Bournemouth. I think he's around 28, 29. But we're not really linked with him as heavily as Jeremy. What are you saying here? So Nightbot is saying that. All right, so 3 people are watching now. I'm assuming that because the match has kicked off between Arsenal and Arsenal are playing against who is Arsenal playing? Arsenal are playing against, what's going on? I'm not seeing where the match is. Where is it? Arsenal are playing against Nottingham Forest. So of course I think that's why the numbers have dropped. And I want to see that match as well. So I might wrap up the stream in about 5 minutes or so, maybe. I want to see if anybody else has anything else to say. The stream is not going to really be long because I don't really have much to say about the game. I've already discussed it. Oh yeah, you don't need to tell me that. You don't need to tell me that Jesus is king. I will be doing that, and I've already told you that we've had a private conversation. I don't really want to give away that too much, but we've had a private conversation. I've told you that the Chelsea women content do way better on this Chelsea Sessions channel than the men's team, because of course the competition for the Chelsea men's team is more than the women's team. Not many males particularly cover the women's team, so that's why I'm capitalizing on that niche within the realm of football, and capitalizing on that market where the competition is less, so you're able to get a lot more views. And as I've said, and you probably saw it as well, maybe that's why you said I should keep up with it, the stream is almost at 20,000 views. And I think that one of the reasons why I did so well is because, of course, you will know it as well, the Chelsea women match against Crystal Palace where they won 5-0, it was not televised. So people were coming to that stream saying, what's going on? Can you update us on what's going on? So, of course, that is exactly why it did so tremendously. It blew up. As I said, I got over 100 subscribers from that stream alone. So I'm appreciative of that. And, you know, remember, people have become members as well. So I really appreciate it. So I know I have to keep it up. The only problem, as I've said, is that I'm going to be starting classes again. And yeah, I agree with you, Jesus is King. They're way more fluid. Oh yeah, they have been. So you say, have you noticed how good the women are offensive now as compared to? Oh yes, they were, and of course that's bound to happen. Of course, Sonia Bumposter's first season was last year, so of course when you have about 18 months or so under a coach, you'll be able to be more consistent. And of course, with Alyssa Thompson, she's tremendous. Her pace is incredible. Joanna Riching carried on the right hand side is so quick as well. So we have two quick plays on that flank. And of course, you know, Erin Cuthbert, she's a veteran in the team. She's been around the team for over 6 years or so, since she's been 20 years old. So of course, she's an experienced player in the team, just like Reece James for the men's team, I should say. And of course, we have Vika Captain, who's really coming into her own as well. Guru Lighton, who's a tremendous player. She's incredible, top player as well. But of course, yeah, they're going to be more fluid, because when they work with a coach for that long, and this is the mentality that I like. Even on the Emma Hayes, for example, this stream has turned into a Chelsea women's stream, but we move. Still Chelsea, that's all that matters. But as you said, Jesus is King, they're more fluid. And what we tend to see with Chelsea women, which is why I really do understand why the men's team can't do this, is the mentality. They know that they have to chase Manchester City to try to win the WSL, and as a result, they're fighting to get as much goals. And I hope they can carry on with scoring the goals. In the last 3 games, they've scored 17, not even 17 goals. What am I saying? They've scored 19 goals in the last 3 games. That is incredible. 19 goals in 3 games. Oh my word. They scored 9 against Liverpool before the end of 2025 in that game that they had against them. And then they scored 5 against West Ham last week. And of course, they scored 5 against Crystal Palace today as well, earlier today. So 19 goals in 3 games. That is incredible. So hopefully we're able to see, you know, more of the same, and hopefully they can get the job done against City, and hopefully they can, you know, try to get back up to the same goal tally and even more than City, I should say, because Chelsea are trailing, I should say, by 6 points and 6 goals in terms of the goal tally. But yeah, I'm as I said, I'm gonna keep tapping into that market, because it works exponentially. It works even more than covering the men's team, because the men's team, as I've said, there are many people that cover them, but the women's team is not really covered as much. And one of the reasons why the women's match wasn't really covered was because there was priority over that game to the City versus Manchester United match, and of course other matches that took place earlier in the morning for me, or early in the afternoon for those in the UK and other parts of the island or country, or the globe, I should say. I don't know. I'm talking nonsense now. But that's by the way. Let's move on to just wrapping up this stream, because the match has kicked off between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. I'm trying to see if there's any goals. No goals yet. First 10 minutes of that game. But yeah, let's see what you see. So when we catch up to City, the goal difference will help us stay on top. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that if we can keep scoring a lot of goals, we can, you know, we can take back that lead. But I do believe that Sonia Bumposter is prioritizing the Champions League over the WSL. And not to say that she doesn't want to win the WSL as well. I think she wants to win everything, but I think that a trophy that she'd want to see, and she wants to be the one to win it, is the UWCL. Chelsea have had this record where they win every other trophy that they can in the calendar year, but the Champions League, I mentioned it before, around 4 years ago, they got to the final with Emma Hayes, and they got trashed massively by Barcelona in that final. So of course we know that it's a case where they would want to win the Champions League, and I back them to really go for it. That I hope they can win it, because I want to see it be a case where Chelsea men and Chelsea women have won the Champions League. Arsenal women have won the Champions League. So even if we can banter Arsenal men for not winning the Champions League, we can't banter the women's team, because they've actually brought Champions League to Arsenal in terms of the trophy. Of course, I know the whole dynamics of it being male and female, and people don't really look at the women's side of it. So we I don't think we can say that they do have a Champions League technically, because Arsenal do, but it's the men. It's not the men's team; it's the women's team. So if you get my point, Jesus is king. Right, for those people watching right now. So let's get the likes up. We can get to 15 likes. We're only on 12. We need 3 more likes. Can you get us the likes? And let me know what you guys think. Who would you say is your man of the match? Let me know who you guys think is the man of the match. Because I would say that Robert Sanchez, who is the one that saved us, it could have been worse. He got the man of the match. But as I said, Jesus is king. Yeah, man, I'm definitely going to be covering the women's team when I can. I won't be able to cover them sadly this week on Wednesday when they face off against City. Because of course I may be in a class during that time, and of course I need to get settled again. But whenever I can, maybe on the weekends, I will definitely do a lot more of those streams, because of course I build a community now where the women's team, and the men's team supporters are watching the channel, which is what we want. As I said, 2026, I had a belief that it would be a good year for us, and 17 days into 2026, the channel has grown massively in the last 3 weeks. Thank you very much, Jesus is King. But yeah, in just 17 days already, we've gotten 500 subscribers. That is massive. That is incredible. 17 days in and 500 subscribers is mad numbers to be getting. So, and I'm looking at the analytics right now for that stream. As I said, with the women's team, 19,306 views on that stream. I'm so shocked at how good that stream did. I wasn't expecting that much. I was expecting like probably 1,000 or something like that, but 19,000 was. I almost had a stroke when I saw that. So, as I said, I'm definitely going to be covering the content when I can. And if there's any other match that that they'll be having that will not be televised, I'm definitely going to be capitalizing on that, because I have some individuals who I know in the UK who would probably be willing to go to Kids Meadow. They're Chelsea fans as well. So whenever that's the case, I'm going to be asking them to go and all that. Big up to you, the football casual. I'm not sure who exactly this is. It says, I'm one of them. Got to support my fellow Chelsea content creators. Big up to you. I'm not sure who this is exactly, but I appreciate it. I do remember when you I think it was the Charlton Athletic game that I saw you for the first time. Maybe you subscribed to the channel because you saw a short or a video on probably Jesse Derry. I'm not sure where you subscribed, what time you subscribed, or when you subscribed, I should say. But thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, the football casual. Not sure who you are exactly, if I know you in terms of in the social media realm, but thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much for dropping a like and for subscribing, and being a part of the massive 500 subscribers that we've got in 17 days alone. So it makes you feel excited. I'm very happy. I feel as if under the Rosenior era, I'll be a bit more happy than I was under the Maresca era. So in terms of that, I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of 2026, and I believe that the channel can grow massively in 2026. I'm very optimistic with that. I do believe that with the fact of how negative I was with Maresca, I think that kind of stagnated the channel. There's some stagnation there because I was negative, and a lot of people don't like the negativity that I was bringing. So I think now that Rosenior is here and I'll be more optimistic, I do believe that the channel can grow massively. And if we're already getting 500 subscribers in 17 days, you can only imagine what we would be getting in 2 months. So let's upwards and onwards, I'd say, as they say in football as well. So hopefully we see more of the same, and hopefully, the channel continues to grow. Now, enough of me yapping about that part. As I said, probably I can put out a poll, so I can see what, for those people who are going to be tuning in, probably later on, who they think was their man of the match. I know Jesus King has said that his man of the match is Robert Sanchez, agreeing with me as well, because I think Robert Sanchez was the reason why we didn't, lose this match or even drew the match, because he made some key stops. He was claiming the ball beautifully, and it was better than the game against Arsenal where he conceded. Big up to you, Jordan. I know that your team lost 2-1, not 2-1. I'm saying 2-1. Oh my gosh, I mixed up results. I know that your team bottled their lead and ended up drawing 1-1 with Burnley. But yeah, how are you doing, man? I know that, I hope you're not letting them kill you in terms of the fact that was the result. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you being here, Jordan. Big up to you. Hope you're well. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to be putting out a poll, for people. The viewership is fluctuating, as I've said. Probably people are tuning into the Arsenal match, so of course not many people are watching this stream. And also there's other big accounts that have been doing their reviews live, or maybe have uploaded theirs. I'm doing mine live. So of course I'm a small channel, so in comparison to a big channel, I'm not going to be getting the big figures all the time. So yeah, so I'm going to put out a poll here. I'm going to put out a poll to see what people are saying. So let's see. All right, so this device is slowing down a bit, so bear with me. Just let me just do this. I'll be right back. So just bear with me. Don't go anywhere. All right, sorry, that took longer than I thought it would have. All right, so it's having some technical difficulties there, but that's by the way. So right, so I'm gonna put out the poll now. I'm gonna be asking who is your man of the match. So I have Sanchez there. I'm gonna put Joao Pedro. Tosin, probably Tosin can go there. I think I can probably put Palmer. And yeah, if you have any other option, if you can of course share them. But these are the 4 options that I can put, and I'm gonna be selecting that. So I want to see what you guys think. Who was your man of the match for this match? Where Chelsea were able to get a win over Brentford, their London rivals as well, albeit not a direct rival like a Fulham or all of that. So yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I get what you mean there, football casual. I get it for that when he tried to keep the ball backwards on it, and Sanchez was forced to make that save. But wouldn't you say that, barring that little error where he almost scored an own goal, that he was very good. He made some good blocks. Or I mean, it's your decision. I'm not saying that you have to agree with me, but he's not my man of the match. I think Sanchez is the man of the match for me. But how do you rate his performance other than that error that he made? The football casual. So I'm just gonna look at the poll. We have 5 people watching right now. 1 vote says Sanchez. All right. So as I said, I can understand why the ratings, the viewership is going down, because of course there's a very interesting match that, as rivals, a lot of people watching. So 10 people watching now. As I said, the viewership is fluctuating. So I put out a poll, guys. Let me know who you'd say is your man of the match. 1 vote already says Sanchez. So let's see. Joao Pedro, Tosin, Palmer, or Sanchez. So 100% so far with one vote to Sanchez. Let's see what you say here. It was better than usual from him, but Brentford were unlucky not to score a few times. 100%. And that is why I'm not getting ahead of myself. As I said earlier in the stream before you tune in, that you know, there's a lot of things that I think needs to be ironed out. I'm not saying that it's all sunshine and rainbow because I'm not euphoric, I'm not utopic, and I like to be realistic. I'm aware of the fact that there's some things that will be shaky continuously because it's still new with I'm saying Maresca. Wow, with Rosenior, I don't. It's so ironic. I kept saying that Maresca is not the manager that I want to see long term, but I keep saying Maresca now. It's gonna take some time. Rosenior is still new. He's been at the club for around a week or so, probably around 11 days. So it's gonna take some time. But Rosenior's Chelsea, as I said earlier in the stream, will be conceding a lot more goals and also be losing a lot more goals and we losing a lot more games, I should say, because of the how brave they play, the high line, and of course, as I said, Brentford had a few chances that they could have scored. They would feel unlucky not to have scored, especially with, I don't remember that guy's name, for the exact same chance I think the football casual is talking about with Tosin almost scoring an own goal. I don't know why he took that he decided to make a pass rather than to take the shot. So that was an odd one. But in terms of otherwise, I think Chelsea did well to defend as a unit. We had to be defending a lot more. And I think under Maresca, maybe we could have won the game by probably a 2-1 or something like that. But we kept a clean sheet, which is the very important thing. And that's all thanks to Sanchez and also the defensive work of not just the defense, but of course the midfield. Cole Palmer a few times. Everybody chipping in, trying to defend well, trying to clear the ball, keep the ball as far as possible away from the target of the goal, of course, for Chelsea. So very important thing right there. But yeah, I mean, all right, well, we're 5 minutes away from the 1 hour mark. I think we can probably just get to that 1 hour mark and then I can end the stream. So just gonna check the poll again to see if anybody else has voted. If not, then of course we can just gradually just end the stream and close it out. But of course, I'm just gonna check to see what the poll is saying right now, because as I said, this is a channel where we give the audience, the community, the chance to give their thoughts. So there's 3 votes now, which is okay. There's only 7 people watching, so I'm not surprised. So 67% says Sanchez, and 33% says Joao Pedro. So I'm not sure how this goes. If there is 3 votes, I'm assuming that maybe 2 persons voted for Sanchez and 1 voted for Joao Pedro. That's if my math isn't failing me. 3 votes, 67% Sanchez. So I'm thinking 2 people voted for Sanchez, 1 voted for Joao Pedro, which I think is a good show. Joao Pedro did have a good game. He didn't score more than 1 goal, which is probably the most disappointing thing, but he got a goal, and I think he's 7 goals in a Premier League, which is not bad. So 11 people watching right now. Let me know who your man of the match is. Click the vote on the poll. I want to know what you guys think. As I said, we have about 4 minutes left of the stream, and I'm going to check to see if there's any change in the Arsenal games. Nope, still 0-0. 25 minutes into that game, and it's still 0-0. All right, so I don't think there's anything massive there that I'm missing. So let me see. 4 votes now. All right, so 50-50. So 2 people are voting for Joao Pedro and 2 have voted for Sanchez. So my match was indeed correct. Yeah, so for the persons who voted for Sanchez and Joao Pedro, can you please explain your reason for selecting either of them? As I said, we have about 2 minutes and a couple of seconds before I wrap up. So briefly, we can, just have a little explanation of why that is the case. And then, of course, we can just call it a day. And for those people who may want to see that Arsenal game, you can, of course, go there. Or you can stop multitasking, probably watching this stream and that. But I really appreciate the support today. The numbers are obviously not just like those of the Chelsea women one, because that was massive. I don't think I'm not unrealistic. I wouldn't expect to be getting 20,000 views on this stream like I did for the women's stream. But of course, I appreciate the support. The numbers are not that bad considering the numbers I was getting before 2026 started. So I can't complain. Anything above 100 views is a win in my book. So I appreciate the support. And as I said, thank you very much for everybody who dropped a like on the stream, who has subscribed. As I said, 500 subscribers in 17 days of 2026 is a massive, massive, massive achievement. And as I said, if we're getting 500 subscribers in 17 days, I can't wait to see what will happen in 2 months, because I intend to do a lot more content. As I said, the only thing is that the what's the word? I had the word right a while ago and it slipped me. The volume of content will probably be less, because of course I won't be as free as I was during the whole winter break period, where I was able to do at least a video every other day or probably every 2 days. So as I said, I've tried to stock up some videos. I still have to do the Jeremy Jacket or whatever I'm probably butchering his last name, or Jacquet, whatever his last name is. I have to still do that editing of that video, and then I probably can put it out should we end up signing him. But we only have 50 seconds left before I end the stream, so nobody else said anything about what the reasoning is behind it, which is all right. As long as you guys voted on the poll, that's all that matters. So I'm going to give it everyone probably 2 more minutes, and then we can go there. Wow. I don't, why does this keep happening? Every time I'm about to end the stream, more people come in. It's always hilarious. 25 people are watching now, which is crazy in my opinion. But I thank you very much for tuning in, and let's get up to 20 likes. We're on 15. We can get 5 more likes. 25 people are watching, so we can definitely get there. It's not impossible. So Jesus is King is saying that Joao was good, but I chose Sanchez because he was better as compared to the. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, from having a stinker against Arsenal in the EFL Cup semi-finals, first like at Stamford Bridge, to this game, he was claiming the ball way better. His passing was incredible. I don't remember who he made that pass to. You know, in that I think, was it the first half or the second half? I think it was the first half, considering the fact that Chelsea were defending on the right hand side of Stamford Bridge. So I think it's the first half. So yeah, the first half he made a very beautiful long pass. I think it was it Neto? I don't remember who it was on that right hand side. He made a beautiful pass and it got to Neto. I think it was. Don't quote me on that, but I remember his passing was way better. And as Rosenior would have said after that game, it's a case where, you know, he has to be patient with Sanchez, because Sanchez was asked to do something that he doesn't usually do. Big up to you, my boss. Big up to you, my brother. How are you doing? It says, big up to you. I'm happy with the win. Up the Chelsea. Keep the blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues. Thank you for tuning in, my boss, and I agree with you. I'm really happy. I think since Rosenior has come in, I've been the happiest I've ever been in a very long time. You know, of course, life comes with challenges, but man, I have felt such happiness, because the way in which I want to see Chelsea not being afraid of teams, not dropping deep and being cautious and taking calculative risk. I keep repeating that in every stream that I've done since Rosenior has come in as the new head coach of Chelsea. I've said it. I want us to be brave, play brave football. I don't like football to be robotic, and I think that's what we've been seeing in recent time. Modern football is very robotic. It's about making safe passes, which is, I can understand that. I'm not saying that you should try to kick the ball up the field all the time and then lose the ball, because of course the best way of defending is by keeping the ball. If you have the ball, then clearly you can't concede. So I understand being possessive, but under Rosenior we can be possessive but also play good, quick moving football. And the one comparison that I would have made, especially with my good brother Jerry, and of course other people I've talked to, when they asked me about my tactical insights, which I can't believe people think that I know so much for them to trust me in that way. But what I really love about the way that Rosenior requires the team to play is that it's all about being intense. Don't shy away, don't hide, don't be afraid to lose the ball. If you lose the ball, it's a part of football. You cannot keep the ball for 90 minutes. I've never seen anybody do that. So you're going to lose the ball, because even if you score a goal, when the game resumes, when they have to kick off the ball, your opponents have to kick off the ball, they get the ball. So you cannot have the ball for 90 minutes. Let's be realistic. So that is indeed the case. So let me see what my boss is saying here. So Rosenior's tactics suits Chelsea than Maresca's tactics. I agree with you, because we have players that I think Maresca was kind of holding them back. A lot of the players like Garnacho had some ups and downs in this match, but I've always said it from the very beginning. Garnacho is a very good player. The problem with Garnacho is that, in terms of consistency, that's always the problem. His issue is consistency. He's very young, which I think a lot of people forget. Because of how young he started out at Manchester United, I think people think he's around 25, 26, but he's still very young. Let me just do a quick check of how old he is. I don't think he's over 22. So I think he's 21, something like that. Yeah, he's 21, literally 21. He's going to be 22 in July. So I think people need to understand that he's very young. He has a long career ahead of him. So it's not going to be a case where you're seeing the finished product. He needs time. Very good. I know a lot of fans gave up on Garnacho and said that he was a waste of money. I know I have said that as well, in terms of thinking that I don't think we need to have signed him and Gittins, because I think Gittins and Garnacho are in the same boat in terms of potential that needs to be met eventually. I felt as if either Gittins or Garnacho was ideal. I wanted us to have signed a centre back instead of spending the money that we spend on Garnacho. But I have no problem admitting that perhaps I maybe judged him too early in some matches. Frustration in the moment, but I've always said it's otherwise, and I think he's a good player. The only problem is that consistency, and of course in this game he missed a very open goal chance. Could have turned the game on its head massively if he had gotten that second goal in quick succession after Joao Pedro scored a beautiful goal. But let me see what my boss is saying here. But yeah, I agree with you. And let me finish reading your comment. He says the football on the Maresca was boring. Yeah, that's the definition. That's the adjective I use. It was boring football. And as I said, I always repeat myself with this. I understood what Maresca wanted to do. The more you have the ball, the less chance you have of conceding, the less chances you have of losing games. And as I said before, you will lose less games under Maresca than you will under Rosenior, because Rosenior is more about taking a risk, calculative risk. Sometimes those calculative risks can become risky chances for your opponents to score. So of course that is the key thing. But as you say here, the football on Maresca was boring. He forced fullbacks to invert, and we did see that today. To be fair, we have to be honest. We did see Reece James inverting in that first half, particularly rather than it being Kukurea, because typically we see Kukurea inverting more, under Maresca. Of course, we saw Pochettino do that in the latter parts of his tenure at Chelsea, inverting Kukurea. What am I saying Maresca for, man? I don't know, man. Maresca is stuck in my head still because he was the coach not long ago. I don't know. But it will take time, as I said, to really get Maresca out of my vocabulary. But yeah, I agree with you. The wingers recycling the ball. We saw recycling of the ball a few times, but it was more about taking and progressing the ball as quickly as possible. And we had the chances as well, despite having only 6 shots in total. My boss is also saying the owners really need to rethink their recruitment approach and go out and get proven profile players like Ushimen, Sensi. That's the player I was thinking of, Sensi. He's the player that has experience in the Premier League that I think I would have wanted Chelsea to be going for rather than Jeremy. As I said, Jeremy is a very good player. He's very young. He's a very good player. He has a lot to learn, but he's a good player. If Chelsea sign him, I'm going to support him because I support Chelsea players. But I want us to sign experienced players in that defense. We need people who are leaders who can guide these young players that need guidance, because Tosin is not necessarily the greatest player in terms of consistency, but in terms of leading off the pitch, being a big brother to the younger players, that's what you see from him. So we need leaders. We need people that can guide these players that need it, guide us. They're vulnerable as well, so they need to learn and they need someone to be guiding them, figuratively holding their hands. So I think that we need more experience. So I agree with you, Mabas. You also say Elliot Anderson, etc., players who actually bring leadership. I agree with you. Basically, what I was saying a while ago, and know how to win. Exactly, mentality is important. We need mentality if you want to be challenging for the league eventually. You need people who have the mentality to help you and to guide you and to turn the team around, or to turn the result around, or to turn the performance around by guiding the team. Do something that can push the team, motivate them, because the coach has a responsibility to develop the players and to do all of that. But the leaders in the team with the players needed to do a lot more as well in terms of guiding the team, be of support to them, and keep them, knowing what to do. So 100% agree with you, Mabas. Fantastic, and agree with you. And just like what coach would do, I think this comment deserves a applause. I don't have the fireworks as he does, so I'm gonna do an applause for you instead, Mabas. So I'm just gonna copy what coach would do, and I'm gonna give you an applause instead for this beautiful comment. Yeah, so that I don't have fireworks, I have applause sound. So that's the applause for you. 100% agree with you right there, my boss. So let's see what else you've said in the chat. I respect you coming in. I was planning to end the stream soon, but more people coming in. Right. Okay, what's this? Okay. Oh, you have sent a lot of messages, so I have to go all the way here. What do you mean my camera is moving like what are you saying, man? All right, so you're saying potential is fine, but trophies are won with experience and readiness. Winning mentality and experimenting with kids, Gen Zs, and the starting 11 without having 3 to 4 experienced players, or am I wrong? I agree with you. And this comment as well deserves an applause. So I'm gonna give you applause again. Yeah, 100%. You're spitting a lot of facts today, my boss. That's not really like you. So much appreciation to you, man, for tuning in. It's good to see you. So he says Ty's cameras moved. Oh, go away, man. Is it a case where my camera is freezing, or is it a case where you're seeing my background is blurry? There's a reason why my background is blurry, because of course the wall is not really the most presentable. So of course I have to be doing that. Anyways, Bobby out for saying Eketike is 6'6" tall. Eketike is 6'3" tall, not 6'6". He said that on Kukure's stream today. Okay. Yeah, I ended up missing that stream because I was doing my own stream earlier for the women's game. But of course I know coach will not look at me a certain way. Says Ty, we need basketball players in defense and midfield in every position, such as left back, centre back, right back, CDM, centre midfield, etc. Look at Arteta. He has Calafiori, Gabriel Saliba, Ben White, Timber, etc. Basmati Rice. I don't know why I said Basmati Rice. I read everything he said. I knew it was Declan Rice, but you say Basmati Rice in midfield. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. So I agree with you. We need experience. We need players that have experience, and of course, I think with Arsenal, I think what these sporting directors and the owners will think is that in terms of what Arteta would have done at Arsenal, he did get rid of some of the experienced, quote unquote, experienced players that were there. Aubameyang, of course, Lacazette, players like what's his name? I'm forgetting his name now. That midfielder. He went to Bayer Leverkusen and he won the Bundesliga. I don't remember his name. He was in their midfield. Crap, what's his name? Anyways, if it'll come back to me, but I can't remember his name right now. Or maybe you can remind me what his name is. If you know what I'm talking, that he was a midfielder for Arsenal. He had ups and downs there, but he went on to go to Bayer Leverkusen, and I think he left Bayer Leverkusen recently, and he won the Bundesliga there. So if anybody can remember, you can just refresh my memory. I can't remember his name right now, but let me just continue with what you said, my boss. So, Ty, what's your thoughts on Chelsea signing Jeremy? Signing? So you're telling me that we've signed him already? Did I miss something? So it's been confirmed. We're gonna get him. I know we've agreed personal terms, but I don't know about us signing him yet or anything. But I mean, as I said to you, he's young, and I want us to be getting experienced players. Let's see. Jaka, that is it. Granit Jaka. Thank you very much, my boss. Jaka, that's the name. Jaka. Thank you very much. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, he went on to Bayer Leverkusen and ended up winning the Bundesliga there. But as I said, my problem is with Jeremy Jokiet is the fact that he's young. And we have so many young centre backs already. We have Mamadou Sarr who's to come in as well, to come back from loan at Strasbourg. We have Alsen Mino. We have Hato who can play as a centre back, as a left back. We have Josh Achingpong as well. We have Wesley Fofana, who is maybe not as young. He's 24, 25, I think, something close to that. We have Badia Shield, who's 22, 23. So we have a lot of young centre backs. I want us to be signing experienced centre backs now, if we're going to be signing anybody in January. But I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. I really don't know. Maybe we should probably get like a pre-contract agreement with Sensei. I know he hasn't signed an extension at his club, so he'll be free in the summer. And I think a lot of teams will be going for him in the summer. But I would have wanted us to sign an experience player. That's the thing with me. So that is my thoughts. And yeah, so the applause. I'm applauding you because you're speaking a lot of facts today. It says, appreciate that, my guy. As always, Dante out and Coachella out. I know already, my boss, Nightbot loves to time out people. When you my camera freezes because I'm using a open Wi-Fi. Yeah, so it's not McDonald's Wi-Fi or as you guys will see, Walmart Wi-Fi, because I don't have that here. But it's an open Wi-Fi, so at sometimes my camera will freeze a couple times here and there. But as long as you're able to hear me, that's all that matters. So just let me know if you're hearing me or not, and that's good. So with Jesus is King is saying that the jockey centre back coming in means someone in our current centre back position will have to leave. I think Disasi is expected to leave. I think Tosin may also be the one that could leave. Because I can't afford to pay coach. I can't afford to pay coach for his mode manner. But over on Chelsea perspective, sadly. There's a lot of comments to go through, man, between you and Jesus is King, man. I said I was gonna end this stream at 1 hour. We're now at 75 minutes into the stream. But that's, by the way, I love the interactions. I'm loving the conversation. As long as we're having good conversations, I can stream it for as long as possible. So Bobby wants basketball players in every position. You can't always have tall players because we don't always have tall players at Chelsea. When you won the league with Conte and Kante, he wasn't the tallest player, but we won the league with him, didn't we? Because it's not about height. Height is not necessarily it doesn't always result in you winning things all the time or always winning every game, because a lot of short players can win aerial duels and all that. So I don't really think that we need tall players in every position, or the team should be filled with tall players. But I think having like 5 or 6 tall players in key areas of the field can help you, especially in the striker role and in the centre back role. But not all tall players can win aerial duels. So I don't always believe that saying tall players will equate to you having good aerial duels won and all of that. So that's what I think, at least. I could be wrong. My boss is also saying Arteta got rid of deadwoods and some, I'm not going to use that word, like Aubameyang, Lacazette, Xhaka. As you said, he's a deadwood, but he ended up winning the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen. Holding, Bellerin, Leno. Leno is doing quite well at Fulham, to be fair. You have Kolasinac. You have Ozil. Ozil. Well, I think in the latter part, Ozil started to become more of a player surplus to requirements. But Ozil overall is not a deadwood player. I wouldn't say that. But in recent time, I can understand why. And Eddie and Kitia, yeah, I agree with you, and etc. So yeah, another comment that I think deserves another applause. So here's another applause for you, Mama. I don't know what's going on today, man. A lot of what you're seeing is spitting a lot of facts, man. So Wesley Fofana is 25. So yeah, okay. So, all right, so fair enough. So Granit Xhaka, all right. So the SD are trying to build a backline like Arsenal, but with younger players. Look at Alsen, Mino, Sarr, Levi, and I forgot about Levi. So we have a lot of centre backs. We have Alsen, Mino, Sarr, Levi, Cowell, Achingpong, Hato can play there as well. Jeremy Jacquet is also very tall, so of course, as he said, I agree with you. I'm going to you deserve an applause as well, Jesus. There you go. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Very, very, very well said there. Jesus is King. Um, all of you deserve an applause here. So let me go up to here. There's a lot of comments from you on Jesus is King, my boss. So Chelsea have finally said a sending back for Rosenior, but we should have. I agree with you. And as I said to you, I do believe that Maresca needed to get another centre back when he complained about Levi Cole getting injured. But what I didn't like about what he was doing was complaining a lot. But I'm not going to really focus on Maresca. This is about Rosenior era. That era with Maresca ended on January 1, New Year's Day. So Maresca is in the rearview mirror. Now we're looking through the mirror and the windscreen, so we can drive on with our journey. Now I'm going to write that down. Maresca is in the rear view and Rosenior is in the driver's seat. As I think somebody says that at just perspective. He's in the driving seat, looking through the windscreen, looking through his side mirrors so that he doesn't, crash and let the car explode and all that. So Rosenior is in the driving seat and we have to support him, back him, because we know that the owners, they don't intend to change their model per se. And considering what Arsenal have done, and I made a video about it, if Arsenal win the league, it could reflect something to Chelsea that you don't need experienced players in terms of initially. But as I said, Chelsea are trying to do something that I don't think has ever happened in the Premier League, which is to win with young players, to win a league with young players, which I don't know, man. But I understand it. The adversity coming to, adversity together and fighting together, that's also experience as well. Building experience at the club with young players rather than to get those ready-made players. I can understand that. But yeah, I do agree with you. I think we should have signed one for Maresca, but he kept complaining and whining that we don't have these players. Work with what you have, because Rosenior has had to work with what he has. It's not like he's gotten anybody new per se. It's the same centre-back availability that he had then. Maybe like Fofana was injured here and there in the earlier part of the season, but Tosin was also there, Chalobah was also there, Badiashile was also there, Hatta was also there, and they weren't playing. Just Achingpong was there. So it's not like he didn't have options, he just didn't trust them. And Rosenior trusts these young players. So I think that's why he was the ideal option for the owners to go for it. Although, he was up for the next manager. I keep saying manager. That doesn't exist. I keep saying, every time I say manager, I'm going to slap myself in the face, because managers don't exist at Chelsea. This head coach, they're only responsible for developing players. So every time I say that going forward, if I say the word manager when I speak about the coach, I'm going to slap myself in the face. So Wesley Fofana is 25, Badiashile is going to be 24 this year. Yeah. Coach, why not? Okay, so Ty, why not hire mode man? I read that already. So it says at least Ty doesn't use Starlink Wi-Fi. Oh my gosh, that's wow. You want to get me in trouble, man. You want to get me in trouble. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to use this. So like coach, I don't have what coach has. I'm going to use this instead. All right, so that's a funny one. That's a funny one. I wasn't expecting that from you, my boss. Very funny. Wow, there's a lot of comments to get through. The Sassy to Crystal Palace, who says no? I think the Sassy deserves another chance in this squad. I don't think the Sassy is that bad. He's not the greatest. He has positioning issues as well. But the same can be said for Jeremy Jacquet. So Jeremy also has positioning issues. Mamadou Sarr has concentration issues like Levi Cole. So I don't really think the options that we're even trying to get are gonna be like a fix. It's gonna be like replacing. It's like putting tape over a crack on a wall, and then like the tape starts to lose the stickiness, so it can't really cover the crack anymore. And then you just put another tape over it so that it doesn't fall off. That's how I would define the situation at Chelsea in terms of all of that. But yeah, I mean, if he does leave, then fantastic for his career. He's not really playing at the highest level. He's playing in the development squad sort of team, and I don't really like that for any player. As much as Disasi, did really do the greatest. At Chelsea, I don't want to see any player's career to be going downhill. So let me go see what's going on here. Okay, I think I just saw I got a notification a while ago. I think it's a super sticker. I'm gonna scroll down very soon. All right, so let's see. All right, so we're making moves. There's a lot of comments to get through. Between Jesus is King and Rabas. So I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna try to scroll down here. I don't wanna skip a lot of comments, but I have to just quickly do this. So another player I forgot is Nicholas Pepe. Arteta got rid of him. Got rid of him. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. Thanks again, Ty. No problem with the applause. I know you're talking about there. Abbas says, if Jesus, what am I saying? If Chelsea, oh my god, I think I woke up very early to do that first stream for the Chelsea women's team. I think I need to sleep. If Chelsea had, I don't know, I said Jesus, so my word. If Chelsea had signed a proper centre back, Maresca would have stayed at Chelsea. I mean, I don't think that's the reason per se. It could have been a contribution to it, but I don't think that was the only reason why he left. I think he wanted to go elsewhere as well. And you said it here as well. So if I read the comment first, I would have probably agree. Basically, I would have said the same thing as you. I don't think that's the only reason as well, because I think he just wanted to go to another club. I think he used Chelsea as a stepping stone. Because why are you speaking to City? You're at a club. Why are you speaking to other teams? I don't get that. It's just like how a player was talking to another team, you'd be pissed. I don't understand why a lot of people are giving Maresca a lot of, they're giving him a lot of benefit of the doubt, which, as I said, he's not innocent. The owners are not innocent. The sporting directors are not innocent. I do believe they should have backed him in terms of that, but at the same time, he's a head coach. He doesn't have the authority to demand the player. He's not a manager. He's a head coach. Head coaches are responsible for not recruiting players. They're responsible for developing players. Managers are able to say, recruit this player, get that player. Managers are kind of rare in football right now. We use the word manager and coach interchangeably, which is not the right thing to do, because a lot of managers don't exist in football anymore. They have to satisfy what they have, and they do have some freedom to say that, okay, I want you to get me this player, and they may agree on it, but it's not the head coach's responsibility to say, let me get this player. It's not responsible for recruitment. I can't talk. It's about player development and tactics and all that. So yeah, that's like me wanting to go back to my okay and saying bye, Felicia. I think you spend too much time with coach, because he loves to say bye, Felicia, and never talks to me again. That's what Maresca was doing by talking to two former clubs, Man City and Juventus. Yeah, I agree with you. That's what it was like. These SD are nonchalant. Last year there was a protest and they signed Quenda, and today there was a protest and they agree. I don't really think it's really associated with the protests. They were always linked with these centre back. They were linked with the centre back from before the protest was even scheduled. Speaking about the protest, I don't really think the protest really serves any purpose. I'm not saying that people don't have the freedom to do so, but I heard that there was only 100 to 200 people that turned up for the protest, and I heard thousands of people on YouTube talking about the protest, and only 100 to 200 people showed up for the protest. That's embarrassing. And I heard it was better prepared for. So I don't know that. I don't think the protest even served its purpose, because the numbers were so limited in comparison to how many people were talking about the protest online, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, and all of that. So I don't know if it was really as useful as that. So Maresca stopped being a yes man. Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, 25, not 24. I was wrong about Badashi. Yeah, okay, so 24. Yeah, fair enough. I think Jeremy was brought in because Fafana is the only player the coach trusts to play the right in the back. Yeah, and he's also French. A lot of the players that we have speak French, That's what I realized. We have French speakers a lot in this team, and Spanish speakers, and a few English speakers. Most of the team is more French and Spanish than English, and that's very ironic for an English team. But anyways, that's the case. Yeah, I agree with you though. And once more, I think I'm gonna give you an applause again, Jesus is King. So here you go. 100%. I'm copying what coach would do. He would give applause and all, and fireworks for comments of the day, and that's another comment of the day. I would say. Let me go back up here again. I see this. I'm getting closer there. Much love to you as well, my boss. Big up to you, Blue Line Chelsea, for the £2 donation. I'm telling you, man, the revenue that we're making today is tremendous. I love the revenue we're making. So £2 donation, super sticker. Thank you very much for the £2 donation. Blue Line Chelsea. My boss is saying Crystal Palace need a Guhi replacement, someone like Alson Mino or Mamadou Sarr or Disasi. Either those three would be good for. I would say give them Disasi on a permanent for Crystal Palace and mid-table clubs. Less pressure expectation is entire. My boss, what is is this my boss? My boss, you're spitting a lot of facts today. I have to give another round of applause for that. Round of applause against man. Your comments are spot on today. I don't believe this is my boss, man. These comments are spot on and very delicious. Fantastic comments. Excellent, excellent comment. So Maresca was using, yeah, I do agree with you. He was using Chelsea to update his managerial CV. 100%. Juventus was a club Maresca used to play as a player. Yeah, Sevilla as well. I have a feeling Maresca will fail at Juventus just like Thiago Motta. Hopefully he proves me wrong. The only way to do that is by winning Scudetto with Juventus for the first time since 2020. Yeah, I agree with you there. You're seeing a lot of facts today, my boss. 100%. All right, so I've finally gotten to the bottom of the comment section. We're about to hit the 90-minute mark on the stream, and I'm getting very tired. It's halftime in the Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest match. No goals. So if you guys have anything else to say, I think we can wrap up here. I've been streaming for 90 minutes, and I'm very drained right now. As I said, I woke up very early to prepare for that Chelsea women's stream that completely blew up. I was not expecting that amount of views. I'm going to check the analytics again to see how much views it's at right now. The last time I checked, it was close to 20,000, and now it's 200 away from 20,000 views. I cannot believe it, man. Wow, almost 20,000 views on that Chelsea women's stream. I cannot believe it. I my boss, you are 20 years old as well, aren't you? So I think Chelsea could have signed you as well. Because you're 20, you fit the age brackets too. You fit the age bracket, so I think they could have gone for you, my boss. Because you're 20, and of course, Mamadou Sarr is 20 years old as well. I think he's slightly older than you. And also we have the likes of Jeremy if he comes in at Chelsea. Bayern Munich are also interested in him as well. So we'll have to see what happens there. Tosin should calmly walk to Rosenior and tell him he don't ever pick me again. Rosenior shouldn't be stubborn and accept the request from Uncle Tosin. Wow. I'm gonna give you a laugh sound for that one. Right, so yeah, I'm liking the StreamYard feature, man. Tosin did very good, I think he did very well for the 57 minutes that he played. I think Tosin did very good, to be honest. Of course, I'm not. He didn't blow anybody out of the water, but I don't think he was bad. He did very good. You really want the laugh more? You want the laugh sound again, don't you? Alrighty, so yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else to discuss, I think we've gone in depth. So my boss, I hope okay. I'm gonna end the stream after this comment. So Tosin isn't bad. The system Maresca played in suit him. Maresca forced to make Tosin a full-time ball player. 100%. Listen, man, I have to give you the applause for this one, man. Your comments are too spot on today, man. Is this really my boss? Your comments are too on the mark, man. Very good, man. 100%. Like, give you another round of applause. And this is what I'm talking about. I keep saying this. Maresca did not understand his players, and one of the biggest issues that I kept complaining about when I was quote unquote negative, as some fans described me as, is that I keep saying, as a coach, as a head coach, you must understand the profiles of your players. You cannot be expecting certain players who don't have the capabilities to do those things when we know football is a results-based business. If you're not winning, then you're going to be looked at as the enemy. So you should know that you need to understand your players. And I'm not saying that because I made a video, everybody should just watch my video. But one of the reasons why I've integrated the player profile videos on my channel is because I want people that can get to see the video, understand the players that we've signed, so that when they see them play, they don't have some unrealistic expectation, because these players have weaknesses. And if anybody saw my video on Tosin, and that video did very okay for that period of time when I you know, at the numbers I was getting at that time. At that time, I think I had only 2,000 subscribers at that point, and that video got 3,000 views. And I made mention of the fact that when it comes on to being a good ball playing centre back, he's not the greatest at that. His positioning, his concentration can be questionable at times. I mentioned all of that. I can remember saying those things in that video, and I spoke about what his weaknesses are. I'm not saying that the million of Chelsea fans should be watching my video on Tosin, but I think that if a lot of people watch that video, they will have an understanding, and they will realize that everything that I spoke about in that video is exactly the weaknesses that we saw with Tosin last year and so far this season, barring this match where he turned up tremendously in this game. So I think if we really take the time to really understand the players at the team, at the club, in the team, we can be able to have better expectation, and we can be able to what's the word now, render our expectation, and and try to revise it, because at the end of the day, we have to remember and have to understand that players have their weaknesses, they have their shortcomings, and as a result, they will have mistakes that will take place as well. So I agree with you, and I have to give you the applause one more time. Yeah, 100%. So all right, so we go down here. This is just Nightbots saying things. So okay, my boss is saying hi. Tosin last year was good in that 2020. He played like yeah, in terms of the aggression, the intensity, yeah, but in terms of ball playing, he wasn't the greatest. And that is what I realized, is that Rosenior, and as I said, this is not me taking a dig at Maresca, but one thing I have to say about Maresca is the fact that for a coach that claimed that he rewatched the matches, I don't understand how you can say you rewatch the matches and not try to rectify the issues that kept persisting in so many different matches. I don't understand that. It is impossible for you to say that you rewatch games and not see the errors that took place in one game, and in the next game you see the same problems again, and you don't try to rectify it. He's always reactive. I cannot remember any time where Maresca was consistently proactive. And what I saw in this match with Rosenior is that when he realized that Kukurea was being overcooked, he was getting outnumbered on that left-hand side for Chelsea, right-hand flank for Brentford. He ensured that he took off Garnacho. He brought on another midfielder to try to add that balance, because we were being outnumbered in that midfield with two midfielders per se there. So that is why I'm saying that he didn't really understand his players, because you need to be proactive. Simple as that. All right, so let's go here. So it says the goalie scoring in the FA Cup against Morecambe. I will never forget that. Yeah, everyone from the 8th place out. All right, so if you're okay, so thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna have to end the stream now. I've gone way over the 90-minute mark. I really wanted to be interactive with you guys, and And in all honesty, I wanted to see if I could hit the 4 digits. But it does look like that's going to be the case today. But that's all right. The numbers are not bad. I can't really be too greedy. After getting almost 20,000 views on the Chelsea Women stream that I did earlier today, I'm not going to complain for not getting to 1,000 views on this stream. It can always get more if, of course, people hopefully watch it. But at the end of the day, thank you very much. Peace out to you, my boss. And we're getting closer to 5,000. Hopefully, as we progress throughout the rest of the season, we can get to that 5,000. As I said, 500 subscribers in the first 17 days of 2026. I'm absolutely appreciative of that. Well, thank you for watching. Big up to you, my boss. Big up to Jesus is King. Big up to Blue Line Chelsea for the £2 donation as he did the super sticker. Thank you very much, and see you guys in the next stream. Cheers. Come on, in Blues, and up the Chels. See you guys when I see you.
In Stamford Bridge where legends play, the Blues march on day by day. From the academy's nurturing hands to the roaring crowds in distant lands, Chelsea Sessions brings the game to life, with training clips and match insights so rife. We dive deep into every play, where the Blues make history every day. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you. From the men's fierce fight to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. Through the highs and the lows we've seen, your spirit remains evergreen. With every pass and every goal, you ignite the passion in our soul. On Chelsea Sessions we get to know the tactics and the players that steal the show. We analyze and cheer with pride for every Blue that's side by side. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you. From the men's fierce fight to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. From the youth's first steps to the seasoned pros, your legacy eternally grows. On Chelsea Sessions we break it down, following every dribble, pass and crown. Oh Chelsea, our hearts beat true, in victory and defeat we stand by you. From the men's fierce fighting to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. So here's to Chelsea, both now and then. We'll follow you forever through thick and thin. With Chelsea sessions, we grow as one to 100K. Let's get it done. So here's to Chelsea, both now and then. We'll follow you forever through thick and thin. With Chelsea sessions, we grow as one to 100K. Let's get it done. Oh, Chelsea, our hearts beat true. In victory and defeat, we stand by you, by you. From the men's fierce fight to the women's grace, together we conquer in every place. So here's to Chelsea, both now and then. We'll follow you forever through thick and thin. With Chelsea sessions, we grow as one to 100K. Let's get it done.